like to start off by thanking Larry Brown for being here tonight. Got a phone call from the governor's office late Friday evening that they had made an appointment putting Larry Brown as our JP to fill Todd Price's spot, so I appreciate your willingness to serve Sharp County. We got a quorum, so I'd ask Ms. Black to call the roll.
Barnes.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Dent.
Here.
Diorio.
Here.
Estes.
Here.
Hastings.
Here.
Murphy.
Here.
Pickett.
Here.
Wilkes.
Would you stand with me as we do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got to do the reading and correction and disposition of minutes on the December 2022 meeting.
I move we dispense with the reading stuff as proposed.
Second it.
You get this, Ms. Black? Just, you got them? Okay, ready to vote.
Barnes.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Dent.
Yes.
Diorio.
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Pickett.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Yes.
All right, now we're going to do the reading, correction, and disposition of minutes for January's meeting of 2023.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. We ready to vote?
Who was the second? Barnes.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Dent.
Yes.
Diorio.
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes.
Murphy.
Yes.
Pickett.
Yeah.
Wilkes.
Yes.
All right. We got County Treasurer's Report, Ms. Wanda.
Glad I've mailed everybody a report. If they've got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Things are good for January. We ended the year in good shape. My report has some extra pages this time. Our financials are in there. And a yearly total of last year's stuff. I talked to our bond agent. We'll be making payments on the jail bond March the 1st. She was real pleased with the revenue we've received to make bond payments. So looks like we're going to be able to make a call payment, not just make our payment, be able to call and make a payment. So whittling it down. It's really good.
That's exciting.
Man,
We'll own it one of these days. It'll be ours.
be time for another one.
We have no burdens. No, I don't know. Do they have no burdens for bonds? We've never done this before. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
Thank you. County and Circuit Clerk's Report, Ms. Black. Anybody have
I
any?
don't have much to report, except for we're gearing up for an election. We did all the voting machines today, and these are left to set up this after, when we're done tonight, so
When is election?
tomorrow.
More.
I'm excited. We're adding 2 more reports to our agenda. So next on line will be Shane Russell, our sheriff, and give us a sheriff's report.
I had on the, what I asked to be on the agenda for.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let y'all, keep y'all up to date with what we got going on, some changes that we're making back in the jail. We're changing food vendors. Right now, each meal is costing us $3.36 per meal per inmate. By this new vendor, we're hoping to get that down to $1.85 per meal per inmate. Doesn't seem like a lot, but over a period of a year, it's going to be quite a bit. We're changing vendors on the inmate communications. Best of my understanding, the last check that we received was in November. They're behind a couple of months sending us our money. In November, we had 103 inmates that used the inmate communications. Our check for that November was $863. That's $8.63 per inmate for that month. This new vendor, the contract says, and they guarantee us at least $30 per inmate per month. That will more than double that income. We should go from roughly $863 to about $2,600 to $2,800 a month income from this inmate communications. That's just to get you up to speed. This last month in January, we should receive a check for $37,400 for keeping inmates, state inmates. That's just to kind of catch y'all up, catch the court up on what we're doing and how some changes that we're making. Also, Judge was back in December, it was earlier this month.
First of
or
December.
January, I guess. We've had this 2,500 Ram, the 3/4 ton truck, at the sheriff's office. The judge was needing another truck. I was wanting to get rid of it. We come to a fair market value of $18,750. I would like to ask the court, I haven't done an ordinance, failed to do that, but I would like to ask the court to let the sheriff's office retain that money to help offset the purchase of another vehicle, which we do have in the budget. But that budget line item is only $30,000. We're not gonna get one for that. But I would like for the court, if you would, to consider that being a, like a trade-in or something of that nature. Otherwise, we're gonna be down for what we, down a vehicle. So,
So they get your vehicle and get it fully equipped.
yes,
That's what
that
you're
will
saying.
do it. Yes, sir.
Sheriff Russell, just out of curiosity, how many inmates do we average?
We're averaging, as just.
State inmates, I mean.
Stay on, now you're gonna get me the line.
That's okay. I'll get it from you later.
Right now, our average, we're running somewhere between 70, 75 inmates a month. That's all inmates. I haven't broke that, I don't know, I can't give you an accurate figure on that.
Well, how much do we get per day from the state?
I believe it's $40.
Well, go and divide that out and
You
see
can
how
break
many,
that down.
with 34,000 or 37,000, and see how many.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I had. Y'all got any questions for me?
I guess I'd suggest you prepare that in form of ordinance and present next month.
We don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You won't need to, Tommy. We just get a voice vote, then when we do cleanup budgets, we'll add it in and I'll show you all with the revenue and we'll cover it.
We just made a motion on that?
Yeah.
Or just,
Something for Miss Elisa to put in her minutes that y'all.
I'll make a motion, we do that then. Second.
Okay,
18, or 4.
I need to know the amount.
18,000.
18,750.
And that'll be for the sheriff's office to purchase.
He's
Finished
retaining the money that the road department is paying him.
It's in county general. It's
Okay, we'll get the
shows
word.
on this report that they're looking at.
That's okay. We'll
Probably
get the word.
27 with 28 in
Next,
there.
they'll have to approve it.
Road department
Something like
purchase.
that.
We purchased it, sir, yes, sir, back for December, correct?
No, in January.
January,
after
I'm
you
sorry.
came in office.
That's correct.
Is that a voice vote?
I think we
yes?
talked,
Y'all wanna
but
vote
yes, sir.
individually? You want a voice vote?
voice vote will be
Whatever
fine.
suits you.
Is everybody, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
We're good.
Thank y'all.
Any old and unfinished business? All right, on to new business.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I apologize. Miss Michelle, our tax collector is wanting to put a report in, and I apologize for that. Let me back up.
I don't have just a whole lot. Kathy has been able to get our tax books rolled to us, so we're working on getting all changes made so that we can get tax statements mailed out the end of the month.
Just take your time on mine.
Hold on to it a little longer.
September 10th will be good for me. That's when you're getting paid.
Anybody have any questions, Miss Michelle?
The textbook still open the third Monday of February?
March 1st.
March 1st.
March 1st. They have passed a law that if we have our textbooks and they are set and we're ready, we can open them early. It's gonna take us every bit to get them mailed out.
Plan on March 1st.
Yeah, yeah.
No more questions. We'll go to old and unfinished business.
Nope.
If we don't have any old or unfinished business, we'll go to new business. We had to pick a couple people, or excuse me, we need to pick somebody to be a AAC delegate from the Quorum Court.
I'll make a motion.
We just needed who you want to send.
You'll go?
Go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna make a motion, we would send Brianna, she's been going for us for,
Okay.
but I'm certainly okay if the court wants for Buell to go.
Just up to y'all. We can, I believe we can take two, having
Didn't we send two
two,
last year?
two in the past, yes, sir.
So
I
let's-
remember.
We got 2 right there.
Well, I would change my motion that we send Brianna on Buell.
Sounds good. Is everybody in agreement?
I second.
Thank you.
Everybody good?
Good.
Any no's? All right. I was approached by the district court work program, Brian, that handles the work program for Judge Johnson. And they get out and clean up and down the highways from time to time and recycle aluminum cans, and wanted to know if they could have that money for petty cash to pay for inmate stuff. And I didn't feel like we could. I talked to Judge Kazee, and he felt like we probably shouldn't get into something like that. But he did ask that I ask the Quorum Court, and so Mr. Neese asked, do you have anything to add to that besides collecting cans? At one point, we had a bunch of scrap left over when they were putting the awning or the soffit underneath, and he wanted to see if he could get that money to have petty cash, like, is that your understanding, to allow them to purchase stuff for the inmates. Now, I appreciate the inmates working and appreciate what they're doing. I just believe there's too many things you could run into there that's why I called Judge Kazee, and he wasn't
And he
interested.
advised against
Not,
it.
yes, sir. He advised us not.
I move we deny it.
Yeah.
Who's second?
I'll second it.
I guess we'll just have a voice vote on that. Or do y'all want to look over it, study it, or anything? I don't want to.
I think
All right.
anytime you got a petty cash deal, you got an auditor problem.
Yes, sir. You got one just waiting to happen. Next thing is personnel policy changes.
Was that
What
a
did-
vote? Was that a voice vote? Yes?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
Anybody no? We're good. Thank you.
Personnel policy changes to our sick and vacation days. Two issues that I've talked to all the elected officials about. One being the vacation days. What we run into, a lot of employees don't get their vacation used before the year's up. Some will carry over some vacation and lose some. And I was wondering if it'd be possible, I spoke to Miss Wanda, and we feel like we could save money if we allowed employees to sell back their vacation at the end of the year. When Shane has somebody take vacation in the jail, he's got to fill it with a part-time person. And after speaking to Miss Wanda, she feels like
your
we're...
employees too?
Yes, sir, it would cover everybody in the courthouse, road department included. We feel like we could save some money, and I just want to bring this idea up to y'all. We don't have to make a decision tonight, but I wanted to bring it up. It'd be nice if maybe we could buy their vacation back at the end of the year. They got so much they can carry over at the end of the year, but if they have an extra week, if we could buy that back instead of them losing it or having to hire somebody to come in and fill in a part-time spot, save some money, so.
So we're talking about buying back up to a week, is that right?
Is that,
How much
Wait.
can
If
they
it's
carry
an
over?
employee who has over maximum carryover of 56 hours at the end of the year, will be compensated for any time over 56 hours, not to exceed vacation earned for that year. So
So if they have
So it
4
could
weeks
be.
vacation and they haven't taken it, we'll carry over 56, but we're gonna own for the rest.
The other 4 weeks,
It wouldn't be 4 weeks, it would be, a little less.
whatever it is.
But that could be changed and reworded however.
That's just
Are
what we,
are all officials on board with this?
yes, sir. I spoke to all of them. I did not get to speak to Judge Johnson, but I spoke to Miss Amanda in his spot. So, wanted to bring that up, and we got one more there that we wanted to add to it, the sick days. Sheriff Russell has got guys that are working 12-hour shifts, and then he's got some employees working 8-hour shifts. We got people in the courthouse working 8-hour shifts, and I got road department working 10-hour shifts. And so what we run into, it would be nice if we could change our sick days back to hours. So Shane's guy's working 12 hours. If he takes a sick day today, then he's got to take 1 day and a half to cover that sick day. And I was wondering if we could do it by hours, like the road department does 10-hour shift. They would have to take a 8-hour day plus 2 from the next day to take that sick day. Does that make sense? And then everybody else is 8 hours. I just wanted to bring that up to the court if that's something that we could do to put in the handbook to, I feel like, make it a fair situation. Ours is 10 hours, his 12, so automatically if one gets sick on the deputy's list, then you got a day and a half that he has to use up.
Do we need a motion on that?
I just gonna see what the will of the court, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
So how many hours a month do they get?
What
Is
is,
it-
what,
How many sick days,
you get one sick day a month, so they
okay,
can
so
get
they
8
get
hours.
12 hours,
Correct.
and
They would.
they'd get 10 hours,
Yes, sir.
and they're going to get 8 hours, right?
Right.
Just a question.
Yes,
One
sir.
day per
They're
month.
still working 40 hours a week. So
Yeah.
why would they get 10 hours?
His guys would have 4 12s would be 48, and then the next week would be 3 12s, correct? Am I saying that correct?
Some weeks are 4 days, 12 hours, and some are 3 days.
They work 3 days 1 week, 4 days the next.
And you are correct on the county road department would be 40-hour weeks.
Well, the nation one would be too. Here's the only one that's different right here, isn't it? Am I not thinking right?
Well, you got the 8-hour office, Mr. Black, we're working 12s, the jail works 12s, you got dispatch, they work 8.
Maybe I didn't state that right.
No, you did. That
Yeah.
was my mistake when I was looking at the hours. You're still on a 40-hour week, just like Judge Brown said on the road department. So
Are you
knowing
thinking
when it
this
really
will work
affects is
for
theirs.
Well, I didn't know, I just wondered if they're still working 40 hours a week, would they get more days than they're getting now, or?
Well, what you run into is you only get the 8-hour, 1 day a month, 8-hour sick time. So everybody that's working 8-hour shifts would come up with 8 hours, correct? I mean, sick time for
What
1
he's
day.
getting at,
And
The 10 hours would, you think that the 10-hour days, that it would be covered under just one sick day per sick day?
I just wondered if they're working 40 hours a day, why would they get more than 1 day a month, You may be able to explain that, I don't know.
Well,
They're still only getting 1 day a month,
Okay.
because their day is a 10-hour day. They're
But
just
they're only
getting,
working 4 of them instead of 5.
correct, but they're getting 1 day per month, and their 1 day is paying them 10 hours. The jail's getting 1 day per month and is paying them 12 hours. We're getting 1 day per month, it's paying us 8 hours.
I would probably just kind of, hard for me to understand if they're still working 40 hours a month, a week, why would?
but you're still making him take,
But you're taking the 12 instead of the 8, or the 10 instead of the 8.
yes,
And
sir.
it really doesn't seem fair.
They're getting 8 hours paid.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's the problem you run into.
So if you went by hours, it really wouldn't matter. It's just kind of confusing the way that it reads. I mean, if you're working 40-hour weeks or whatever, and you're still, it's just the way this is written is kind of confusing to me.
Well, it looks like to me they'd have 12 hours a month. You'd have 10, and everybody else have 8, but maybe that's not, I'm not thinking right.
But
And
it,
that's exactly, that's exactly right.
I don't understand it.
Yes, sir, go ahead, Sheriff.
The thing, I understand the question about it, because I questioned it too, but at the same time, if one of my officers, my deputies, take a day off of sick leave, they have to use a month and a half of approved time.
Well, I'm not arguing there,
No,
I'm saying what they need to do is, like you said, you started, I think you need to go hourly. If you get 12 hours, you need to get paid for 12 hours, them 10 and them 8. Now that's how it looks fair to me, I don't know.
Is what's been proposed rectify what you're,
Yes. Yes, sir.
So you get a full day's pay if you're off sick. I mean, yeah, yeah.
If you was off one day, you would use
Yeah.
one day that month.
Yeah.
you approved that time.
You'd get your 12 hours.
Yes.
Judge Brown?
I'm okay with that, it's just that you're accumulating hours, you know, I don't see how you accumulate more hours than somebody at the clerk's office working 40 hours a week than somebody in the road department working 40 hours a week, so why would they accumulate more? But I agree they should get paid for a full day.
but there's some weeks that'll accumulate 36 hours, right?
Every other week,
I mean-
they'll work 36, yes, sir.
But the end of the month is just 12.
If there was-
At the end of the month, it'll be 12, you're saying 10, like, I understand what Larry's saying, it's a 40-hour week's what they're working,
Yes, sir.
and they're losing 2 hours there. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir. So if we could table this, bring it back next month, if this is something that the court wants to go over, or,
I don't think it'll change next week.
I think we all understand. We're just trying to make sure people get paid the way they're supposed to get paid.
yes, sir.
So I don't, for me, I think I understand it.
They don't have to vote on it.
No, have to vote on the
No,
change.
you have to do an ordinance, you have to bring it to their attention, and see if they all agree before we went that far.
All right,
So you're gonna
And any
reduce this to
adjustments,
ordinance
whatever.
form and bring it back
Yeah, the
next
judge
month?
will have an ordinance for you next month.
Okay, I'd say go ahead because I feel certain everyone's on board with it.
we got a court order tonight, appoint members to the Cherokee Village Water Works Facility Board. It's at the back of your, well, I think one more over, Chuck. Scott Paul had sent me a letter. He advertised the positions open over on the water board. And we had one person send in a resume. When he contacted them, they thought it was a paying position, and when they found it wasn't a paying position, they canceled their request to be considered for the position. And so, wanted to explain that it was advertised, and once they found out it wasn't a paying position, nobody was interested. So, excuse me, we have 2 people that's been nominated, and then we got everybody else for the
Excuse me, John.
remainder of their terms. Yes, sir.
Have you read the ordinance and how that's supposed to be taken and being done? Because they were supposed to give the names prior to January 1st to whoever was sitting on, and in March, the appointment is supposed to be made. And if they don't give you the names by January 1st, then you, as the judge, can appoint anybody from the county that you wish to be on that board. So are you familiar with that?
I am not, but I will get with Judge
Anybody from the county or
Kazee.
anybody from the city of Cherokee?
These two are
That's what I'm wondering.
Yes,
Is that anybody from the county or anybody from the
Yes,
city of Cherokee?
The thing about it is Cherokee's going through a rough patch, and we're having lawsuits among each other. And the reason I say that is because we used to be a water facility that our members voted for the people that were on. That was taken away from us a while back, and it was turned into this new system that you have. Now, if that board is not following the rules that are set out, and the county is not, and I also asked you half a year, maybe more ago, I told the JPs that it only affects 2 of them that are sitting on your council, and yet the whole other side of Fulton County doesn't have anybody choosing for Fulton County. So I suggested that you just leave that in the lap of Cherokee Village Mayor, which could also be done, but it would take the quorum court to make that decision, to change it over. But with reappointing these people over and over again, it's causing a little consternation in the communication between the city and the water department, and there's a little bit at odds there. So there's just more to say, yeah, I want this person because they're the ones recommending it. I just wanted you to know that you had the power to appoint, I believe it's the whole state. You can appoint anybody to that water board. It doesn't have to be from the city.
Well,
And it would be nice to have somebody appointed with some water background rather than people that are bankers or don't have the background.
there's more than 2 here. It's in Cherokee.
Well, you know, this is the first time I physically heard it on. I'm not a paper reader, so I don't think you get the paper to read.
No, I mean, there's more than 2 JPs here in Cherokee.
You got 2.
No, I've got some in Cherokee.
Yeah.
You're also in.
I sure do.
Yeah, he's
I
got
was
a
not aware
small
of it
sliver.
because I
You
only-
might want to check.
I only know of those
He,
2 that.
he actually
I
got
can
some
tell
of
you
my
he does.
district.
That's just recently happened.
I got some of his districts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 of you, so you can see how big the
Did he really?
population of Cherokee.
But I'm glad you answered my question, because my question was, do they have to live in Cherokee to be on this board?
To the best of my knowledge, and from reading what the law was, they do not have to live in Cherokee.
Has the law changed on that, Peter, since in the past couple of years?
Why would you want to be on
I
there if you
haven't
didn't live
read
in
it to the
Cherokee?
last
Tom?
One time, I said they had.
It doesn't pay.
Apparently don't
Right,
pay.
but if they,
No,
there was a time limit for them to do that, and that's what I'm telling the judge.
We put
If
shade
they
on
didn't
it.
meet that time limit, then the judge has the authority to
Can't we
appoint
talk with?
or put in front of anybody he wants.
But normally they're self-perpetuating.
Judge, when they advertise for this, did they distinguish between Sharp and Fulton
You've dealt
County
with this.
residents of Cherokee
And
Village?
you said
Did they
what?
distinguish they even had to be from
They
Cherokee
recommend that
Village?
you just
Right, correct.
confirm the reports to the quorum court about what you did, you know.
If they only had one person apply,
Yes, sir.
then I don't see any other alternatives than to leave these on there until we find out something else, you know.
Ms. Black, do we need somebody to read this order, or
No, it's just a
No,
court order,
that's
it's
just-
just for, it's just informational.
Information purposes.
need a voice vote, or?
No,
Nope.
All
It
right,
says your hand.
It's a court order from the
all right. Thank you. Any more questions? Sorry.
State the 2 names.
I know, be in a minute.
What do you say?
He wants the 2 names.
Oh, thank you.
Albert Commits? Am I saying that correct? Commits? Albert Commits and Darrell Curley.
It is being reappointed, but it did run in the paper.
Have we
for
put both of them on
consecutive
there?
weeks. One resolution.
Yes, sir.
was
I think
submitted
that is
for
correct.
There were 2 openings?
Yes, sir.
in the paper.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if that was clarified.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know up to right now. You said there was 2 openings?
Did you understand, sir, Ms. Peter, that there was 2 openings?
People voting on the committee, determined that.
Like I said, there's been some interesting things happening in our community, and there is a procedure they're supposed to follow. This is not the March meeting. According to the ordinance, the appointment's supposed to be made in March, not February, not January, not December, but March. And according to the ordinance, if we're supposed to be following that, if they don't give you the names by January 1st, then it's up to you to appoint anybody you deem necessary for that position. So that's what I wanted to make you aware of.
These are effective March 1st.
but the law says the appointment is made March 1st.
So you can appoint anybody, I guess, if nobody.
Quorum
Yes, sir.
board is out of this, it's in the judge's hands.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
But I was
Let's-
letting him know that he had the ability to do that if he so desired.
We got two resolutions and one ordinance to go over. I know I told Gerald that Justice Hastings, it wouldn't be too late tonight. We got the district tournament going on down Cave City. First resolution, if I could get somebody to read that, it says for Mark Counts' handgun. And what that is when I retired from the sheriff's office, Shane was after me to get this completed and I did not. First year come and we got swamped and so,
He wants to go back.
and so that's why you're seeing it. The first day of the year we was swamped, really busy and so.
In January, we
got
told you
opportunity.
to go forward with this and do
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
Just need somebody to read the whole
Yes,
thing.
yes, sir, that's correct.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Sharp, State of Arkansas, a resolution authorizing resignation Sheriff Mark Counts, unwaiving dedication to the Sharp County Sheriff's Department and the presentation of his personal handgun. Whereas Mark Counts has served as Sharp County Sheriff for 12 years and has served Sharp County in law enforcement for most of his adult life. Whereas Mark Counts has been a dedicated law enforcement officer in Sharp County for many years at different agencies throughout the county. Now therefore, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Sharp County, Arkansas, on Sheriff Mark Counts' retirement with the department, the Sharp County Quorum Court recognizes Mark Counts' dedication to Sharp County and hereby awards Sharp Mark Counts his personal handgun, a Glock 45 caliber pistol, model 21, serial number PZB 570.
Make a motion?
Make a motion.
Second. Did you get the motion? Did you get the motion and the second?
You did.
Okay. Ready to vote?
Barnes,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Dent,
Yes.
Diorio,
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Pickett.
Yeah.
Wells.
Yes.
Grange Calamine Volunteer Fire Department applied for a grant, and we got a resolution for this grant. They're applying for a $15,000 grant to help them made in building a new building, I believe, at their fire department. Could I get somebody to volunteer to read that?
I'll read that, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Judge.
Arkansas Rural Community Grant Program, resolution passed by the Quorum Court. Be resolved by the Quorum Court of Sharp County, State of Arkansas, a resolution entitled Construction of a Two-Bay Building to House Fire Trucks. A resolution authorizing Mark Counts, the judge of Sharp County, to apply for a grant on behalf of the Grange Calamine Fire Department, whereas the Sharp County Quorum Court has determined that the Grange Calamine Fire Department meets eligibility requirements necessary to apply for a grant under the Arkansas Rural Community Grant Program, and whereas the Grange Calamine Volunteer Fire Department has presented plans to construct a two-bay building to house fire trucks, and whereas the Quorum Court of Sharp County recognized the need for the project, concurs with its importance, and supports the Grange Calamine Volunteer Fire Department in its efforts to proceed with the same. And whereas the Grange Calamine Fire Department has furnished proof that they raised $15,000 to the community cash to be applied to the project as a local match, be it further resolved that Sharp County Judge Mark Counts is hereby authorized to submit an application, a formal request to the Arkansas Rural Development Corporate Commission for the purpose of securing state grant funds in the amount of $15,000 to aid the Grange Calamine Volunteer Fire Department, also to assist the Grange Calamine Volunteer Fire Department in executing the proposed project therein, and that the Sharp County Judge Mark Counts or the Sharp County Treasurer Wanda Gertman is further authorized to administer the grant funds for the same project. This resolution adopted in regular session on the
I got it.
motion to approve that.
Justice Brown got a motion. Do we got a second?
I'll do it.
Jackie Pickett is our second. Everybody ready to vote?
Barnes.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Dent.
Yes.
Peoria.
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes.
Murphy.
Yes.
Pickett.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Yes.
Last month, I brought up pay schedule change in the road department, and y'all asked if I'd bring a ordinance back on the pay schedule change, and could I get somebody to read that?
I'll read it. Ordinance 2023 being enacted by Quorum Court of Sharp County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend ordinance 2022-12, establishing a pay schedule for OEM grant writer and co-superintendents, remove road foreman and shop secretary for the year 2023. Whole road superintendent's salary schedule shall remain the same as 2022-12. Ordinance just changing title to co-superintendents. OEM, the new hire is $17,902. Road grant rider safety, new hire is $16,098. 1 year, $17,098 after certification. After first year, $250 yearly, raised each year through 25 years of service. The funds are available and Quorum Court approved. A one-time yearly bonus may be given after 25 years of service as funds are available. The purpose of this ordinance is to make revisions to ordinance 2022-12 pay schedule for all county employees. Move we adopt that ordinance.
I got a motion made by Justice Hastings. Do we got a second?
Second.
Second made by Justice Wilkes. Are we ready to vote?
Barnes.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Dent.
Yes.
Peoria.
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes.
Murphy.
Yes.
Pickett.
Yeah.
Wilkes.
Yes.
To update the court, I'll be real quick on the road department. We was talking yesterday, the second day of the year, we ran into 4 inches of rain. The next week, we got 3 inches of rain. Next week, we got 6 to 8 inches of snow. The next week, an ice storm. Now, tomorrow, we're looking at possible storms. Little Rock sent us a message to be watching for storms and rain, so hopefully we won't get too much. So we've been out patching roads, putting some gravel out and getting everything passable where everybody can get through. We got a mitigation money for the bridge on Shelbyville. It fell through back last year, close to the end of the year, and they got mitigation money, and we had a problem with what was put wording in our newspaper deal when we released for bids, and so we had to redo it and put it out, and we had 2 people bid on the bridge. And Seagraves Construction out of Pocahontas, is that correct? Come in with the lowest bid, and they received awarded the job, and so they said that as soon as the weather's decent, they anticipate about 3 weeks if the weather will stay with them, and hopefully we get that accomplished. We got four road graders down at the time. We had to pull one in Thursday night. I've got a list and hopefully get it back to the next Quorum Court member or meeting to show everybody the hours and the situation we're in with our road graders, excuse me. Checked with Caterpillar last couple of weeks about the cost of a new road grader. And since 2019, they've jumped up $100,000. And looking at $313,000. They offered us on our old grader we wanted to trade in the 50s, and got a phone call from Witcher Auction Group, and they feel like they can get us so much more. They're anticipating maybe 70 to 90,000 on the road grader, and so we was going to see. They're going to have an auction in March, was it? They told, or April. So in April, have an auction, and so don't cost us nothing to run it through. And if they don't bring what we want, we don't have to sell it. And they only start collecting after so much money, correct? is on their fee, so much money.
Yeah, we're gonna set the, you're gonna set the reserve at 70.
At
And
70.
it's 10% for the first 5,000, and then 5%, anything over that is the commission fee. And it's gonna be held right here in Agnes.
And Agnes, they're coming up here to do an auction. And so they asked us if we had anything to put in, and so, we're two years ago, we're going on, I guess, our third year. 2 years ago, we had bought our last road grader, and right now ordering something. Caterpillar said it'd probably be August or September, talking to Michael Burton. But with the way everything else has been going, it could be a year to 14 months. And so, got to make a decision and not wait too long if that's what we're going to do, because we're looking at another year. To give example, on our road graders, we got a road grader I was showing Chuck there earlier with 11,000 hours. You get that many hours on a road grader, you don't know when it's going to give out on you. And right now we got 4 in the shop, trying to get fixed and get back in good shape. So I just wanted to bring that to the court and let y'all know what we was looking at and see what y'all thought. The one road grader that was left from last year that needed the transmission, we got it over at Jonesboro fixing it. We got a few graders here with 8,000 and something hours on, and the lowest one there, I was trying to see. Lowest one is our 2021, so and it's got 972 hours on, which is good. But talking about the other ones, 11,000, 8,000, 9,000 miles or hours. I'm sorry, 9,000 hours. You don't know when they might give out on you, and so I don't want to be having to work on 3 or 4 road graders a week. Sometimes that may be what happens, but I don't like spending money when it comes to that much money. I don't like spend that much money, but it don't look like they're going to go down anytime soon. You're looking at $313,000 for a new road grader. 2019 they were $100,000 cheaper, but that's like we was talking about vehicles back in December, how much they've increased over the years. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention.
The rock separator at the gravel pit, didn't you tell us earlier it had an engine blown up in it?
Yes, sir. They've contacted Cox Equipment and got one more bid. Waiting on the second bid to come in. Looking around $30,000 to replace that motor. And that's the big rock separator that we got at the quarry. One other thing that we've ran into that affects the road department and sheriff's department is our gas pumps out at the county yard. We've got a system on there, that's a computer system that allows us to punch in which number is using it to get fuel. And the thing has went crazy, and we've worked on it a half a dozen times, and got to talking to the people that have the system, and they said the system was 21 years old and said it's been expired. And he said, in fact, the one that we used after that has been expired. You are that far behind. And so we asked 2 different companies to give us a bid for a new computer system to operate our gas pumps. So to give you an idea, when I go out to push the gas pump, I'm picking gas because I drive a gas vehicle, and then I'm putting my code in there. If Shane's out there getting gas, he's pushing 2 for gas and his code to get in there. And that just keeps up with what our fuel is being used. The computer that was using to keep up with everything, 2001, it just seemed like everything wants to crash at once. And so we have talked to one company that has put us a bid in. Miss Denise, what was our bid minus their travel? Around 10,000. And so we're waiting on the second bid, and that's Littlefield asked if they could bid it. They're the ones that get the gas bid most months, or the majority of the months. Since I started, they're the only one that has bid it, I believe. Was that correct? They're the only one that's bid it, so. But they're wanting to put a bid in on getting a new system to help us keep up with our gas. So I'll bring something back to show y'all next month. So
How much ARP money we got?
on the last. So,
I take that.
$171,000,
How much?
$171,000.
Some people hadn't collected theirs or what?
Yeah, she's got some bills she got to pay.
How much bills we got?
Oh gosh, the flooring's not done yet. They're not done out at the fairgrounds. There's still a lot of things that need to be done yet.
But when, if we take that off, we'll know what's left, right?
But we knew last fall when they all appropriated money for the different things that we were really, gonna be really close, you know, with having any ARP money much left at all.
I mean, one thing that's gonna help us is the one tower that was damaged. That was covered by insurance, so that'll give us 10,000 back in there. And now that we've had that flooding in the prosecuting attorney's office, we'll have that money back in there because insurance will cover that flooding in the prosecuting attorney's office.
And that's not earmarked for anything, right?
No, but I don't know for sure what those figures are yet. I don't, you know.
But I mean, by the next meeting, can you know how much, who we're gonna pay and how much ARP's left? By in a month?
I mean,
I can,
if we close, we won't. So we've got a,
I may be thinking wrong, but the sheriffs use this and the county uses this machine. They may need to pay a little of it or something, or if we can get out ARP money for this machine that he's talking about, this computer. With a computer that's messing up. That she said was $10,000.
we might, but, I think, I don't remember if I told y'all last meeting, we did an ordinance to, add new funds to my book for some new money, federal money that they're sending us. I got $50,000 of that federal money. We'll get another $50,000 sometime this year. I have no idea when. I don't understand radios, and I'll be the first to admit it. But the sheriff and the judge, y'all want to explain to them about the radios that
Yes.
we're going to order because of the cost, if it's
We-
cheaper right now?
We've been blessed that the Quorum Court helped us to get our radios up to par last year and put out the money through the ARP, or I can't even remember what she said.
Yeah.
And so with that, we were able to update all of our sites, antenna sites, to where they put new coaxes, new antennas, new repeaters in there, and made it to where we could go digital. That's the thing we keep worried about, when the government's gonna make us go digital. And so we got everything updated at the sites. We got a new antenna behind 911, new coaxes, new radios in there. And everything on that side sounds really good, really impressed. One of the things that we ran into was getting handhelds and mobile radios for the sheriff's office that would be compatible with digital. Now, they've got a few that are, but the majority are not, and the handhelds have just taken a beating. And so Barry Wilkes is the one doing the radio equipment over there, and he got to checking for us. And Sheriff Russell had asked him about seeing what the cost of the handhelds and mobiles were. And we've run into this next month, he said would go up 10%, was that correct? Minimum of 10% is what they told us. And so, like everything else, it just seems like it keeps going up. And but it's come to the point, if we're gonna update everything and finish out what we started with the radio system, we feel like all the cities are pretty close to being ready to put the law enforcement side on the digital. We still got some fire departments that are not. We can go digital with the sheriff's office and keep the analog for the OES, if that makes sense, until we can get everybody on with new radios to do that. How much was the total when you looked it up?
Roughly $20,000 to the sheriff's office, with all the radios for the vehicles and the deputies. It'd be $20,000.
Did that include the four that we talked about that you might need for the road department? Is superintendent and-
We
No, I do not.
got 2 or 3 new ones in the sheriff's Vic, so we may have,
We may
May have a
have 2 or
couple.
3 that are digital capable. They'll just have to be reprogrammed. I don't have an accurate count of that.
But what I need is, what I'd like to do is, because we don't know how much ARP money we've got, is can we use some of this 50,000 that I've got to pay for these radios?
and what it's gonna do is finish a project that we started years ago and get us in compliance. The only thing that won't be in compliance is the OES side, because there's several of the fire departments and stuff that are not ready, and we'll be able to leave them analog and we go digital.
Well, I think we ought to wait till we see what we're gonna owe.
Well,
If we
I'm
don't
not-
know
I'm
what
not
we owe
talking
when we,
ARP money.
100,000 difference,
I'm
something's
talking
there.
this new money that I got just here the other day. That was free money too.
Well, I'm
It's
saying,
free
if
money.
you don't know exactly where you're at in your 100,000 difference, you won't know next week.
Our ARP money should cover what y'all have said y'all wanted to pay for ARP, which we know it was close. What was it, like $9,000 close? And then she's saying, you know, we're gonna have maybe the 10 left because the insurance is gonna pay for one tower we're not gonna have to fix. The insurance company's gonna pay for some flooring, that we're not gonna have to cover. But we need to order these radios, or we're gonna have to pay a higher price for radios when we do order radios.
What's the name of this new fund?
It's the
Wonder what that.
Local Assistance Trouble Consistency. It's on y'all's report.
Yeah.
And it's 50,000. We got,
It's what they pay in their taxes.
no,
It's not that.
no, it's not the little taxes. It was 50,000. It's gonna be 2 payments. And I've got, the first one just came. It's here and on my books. And I'm looking for another 50-something this year whenever I release it.
I'd say we can use that. Going forward.
Need a
Yeah,
motion
you
on
can
that.
do whatever, you know, it's
Could we get a,
it's like a county general type issue. They're telling us to do things with it that you would
How much
normally
is
do
it
with
gonna
county
be?
general money.
I think, to give you an idea, I think it's gonna be 20,000 on average for the radios, and I think it's gonna be 10,000 to update the computer system for the gas pumps.
So about 30,000.
Yes, sir.
I'd say let's just do it.
Any more discussion, or, I guess, would,
Do we need a motion
Yeah.
on that? I make a motion to take it out of that new.
Ms. Black?
What's the
20
motion?
and the 10.
Justice Kevin Dents has made a motion that we take the money needed to take care of the radios for the sheriff's office and for the computer system on the gas pumps at the county yard out of the new money, and Ms. Wanda can give you the name of it.
It'll be fund number
Gotta get rid of some of
1007,
it, Tom.
Lisa.
Look at this somewhere.
Any more discussion? We got a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Brianna has made the second. Y'all ready to vote? If I'm going too fast, tell me.
Nope, you got it.
Excuse me.
Barnes,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Dents,
Yes.
Diorio,
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Hastings.
Yes.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Pickett.
Yeah.
Wilkes.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Any announcements from the court? Any announcement? Let me back up before I do the announcements. We got economic development strategies and network for elected officials coming up February 28th in Jonesboro, Arkansas, starting at 9 o'clock. I wanted to see how many of the JPs would be interested in going. Gil said he'd like to.
I said I would.
Yeah, I won't go.
Miss Miss Brianna and Miss Murphy. Anybody else? Judge and Kevin? I'll write them down.
Okay.
Anybody else? You go with us, huh? You wanna go with us too? Joey Barnes, Brother Barnes was another one, so we got 5 people to go. Anybody else? Thank you. Any announcements from the court? Any announcements from the public? Any comments or questions?
Judge, I'd like to say something. If y'all get an opportunity, come by, either get with me or the judge, take y'all back to dispatch and kind of show you the updates that we've done, some changes that we've made. Also, I had a question. Is there anything that y'all would like to have from the sheriff's office as far as a monthly, something that you would like to know about monthly of what we're doing or what we're coming in with? Everybody except Mr. Lorio, anything? Yes.
Yes, I'd like kind of an updated what you're making in the jail on commissary or if it's possible, if it's not too much trouble, just what you guys are bringing in instead of, just a lump sum of knowing it that this is bringing in this and this is bringing in that. That would be really nice.
So a detailed list of what do you want the income and outgo or just the income?
Well, the outgo would be fine too, but I don't want to be a problem. I just like to know how the money is being made, because I know that you're making money finally, and well, not finally, but you're making money, and it kind of be like, nice to know what.
I'll get you something together.
I'm not wanting to assign homework or anything, but I really used to like to know about what was going on as far as burglaries and break-ins and thefts.
Okay.
I just want to be aware.
Okay.
What was it?
But like I say, I'm not trying to give you homework.
No, it's fine.
We used to get loads of grading mile stuff. Did that stop?
I guess it did a couple of years ago, but we
No,
can put
we
it
got
back.
it. We
You
got
got
it.
it this year?
We got it from sometime from Lacey or something, or she done it, I guess.
Last year. Be glad to do it.
And if that's a burden or imposition.
We do have.
Look at Miss Denise.
Facebook, it will be on our website to where you can look, and it tells you every week who was arrested and what they was arrested.
You don't have me blocked on Facebook?
Is that, you look at that?
That'll be fine.
And if it's not what you're wanting, you let me know.
I'll look.
I will get what you're after, and I'll get something put together so I can give it to you every month. Anybody
You
else?
got a mouth.
I get arrested, on my name taken off.
You got to.
They'd be working around the clock with you, wouldn't they, Jack?
Does anybody else have business with the court?
I'm with adjourn.
We got a motion and a second. Y'all get that?
Yeah.
We're adjourned. Thank you.